guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel Read with Kim. I am extremely excited to be in here because why not? I decided to read like several big books. So I couldn't finish the book last week. So I was like, okay, I need to finish this book before I record a video. And honestly, I don't like to rush myself. I like to enjoy the book and go through everything so I can give you a honest and good review. And today we are going to talk about this book from Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings, which is the first book of his series of Stormlight. And I'm gonna talk first about what is this book about, and then I'm gonna give you my rating, and at the end I'm gonna do a spoiler, maybe comment to discuss the things that I like. So yeah, let's get started. This is 1,000 pages book, no more, no less, and we are following several point of views. And not only that, we going back and forth through the years in this story. I have to say that I love the map that we can find in the first page, so we can see where the kingdoms are, how it's divided, and I love that. And we are following. I have to write it because I need to take notes. So we are following. I I was gonna about to complain because why I cannot choose names like John, Brandon, Eric, easy names, but it's okay. It's okay. So we're following Kaladin, Cheyenne, Jasna, Adolin, the Lion, Asidas. So basically, those are our main characters. And it's also the name Elhokar from the king. I'm so sorry if I don't pronounce them right. I wish I can have the audiobook so I can know how I pronounce those names. But forget about my pronunciation. So basically, the main character, in my opinion, it is Kaladin. And Kaladin, when we present this character, he is a slave. He is a slave that has a past, a very difficult past, because he actually was a soldier before to become a slave, and he started to be a surgeon because of his father. So through this book, we going back and forth into his story. So we have an understanding where he's coming from and how and why he has this character and how he's developing all the emotions. I love him. Like he is my favorite. I felt so connected to him, and I love how Brandon Sanderson went literally with the way he was writing the story about back and forth, because we know why he's acting the way he is. And I love when he was completely devastated. It was on the point where he was like, I have no hope. And I was like, yes, I don't have hope either. Like, this situation is so bad. And then he started like thinking and rethinking the way to help others. And it's just beautiful. I think the character of Kaladin is it's great. Now when you get into the book, as I said, you have like a different stories, and you were like, okay, or I was like, how this is going to connect to this story, because each of the stories has their own kind of plot and is so interesting. And I was like, in what moment they're going to connect each other. In the story between Shajan and Shasna, we have Shajan that wants to steal the soul caster from Shajan. So it was like, wait, why she wants to steal it? Why the soul caster? So Shajan's father died, right? But she can't say that the father died because they have so much debt. So in order to pay the debt, because a person wants this soul caster thing, she has to travel and go to this island and pretend that she wants to be a scholar from this woman who is just not that she has a soul caster, because the soul caster has specific powers, and she's kind of like a mentor. So Shajan has to go there and pretend that she really wants to be her scholar in order for steal it and come back to her land and give this thing to this person that they can be out of debt. So she's doing this for her family, for her brothers, right? So she goes there, and this woman is like, I don't know if I want you as a scholar, I don't know if I want to be your mentor, and ended being her mentor. So you'll see through the pages if she's able to steal it or not. I'm not going to spoil at this moment, but it's a lot of the story. You get so much involved, so much emotions, and then you start understanding little by little what is a soul caster, what it has to do with all the story. And in the other side, we have a Kaladin who he is being a slave and being surrendered by those slaves who they don't have any hope. They've been treated so bad, they've been being abused, and then you discover a lot of things with him because he's been like, okay, I was a soldier and now I'm in the other position, and how I'm gonna do that, how we're gonna survive, how he's building his team, he's gonna able to do it, how he's gonna do it. It is a lot. It is a lot. This book is really amazing. It's really good, but I really recommend to take notes because as all the epic fantasies, you have several characters. I have to say that I'm really happy that this book it doesn't have many characters as some fantasy books have, but however it has some. So I would recommend you to even just write. That's how I do. I just write the names at the beginning. The names have usually been repeated, so I gonna okay, this is this. Because for me, you reading them more and more and more, you're gonna get familiar with those characters. The rating for this book is definitely 5 stars. It's a masterpiece. It's a really good book. Now it takes time. It's not boring at all, but it takes like you to understand some questions, and sometimes you have to go back and forth to know what is happening. But it's 5 stars. Like if you go through the first 200 pages, you're gonna like have a great experience. And please do it. This is book number 1 from the stormlight archive for that I said on the beginning. Now I'm gonna spoil a little bit. So if you don't want to know, don't watch this part of the video. So what I want to say is, for me, it was really interesting see how Shajan became very. She developed this kind of like love friendship from Shashna, and then she was feeling really bad. I'm so sorry. I'm not right now. She was feeling really bad to steal the soul caster. So I love that because I feel like she was put on the position of should I do it or should I don't do it. I have to do it because that's what I came from, but I don't want to do it. And it talks a lot about philosophy and a lot about meaning of life in this book. That's something I really appreciate. Like, sometimes we want something and we say it doesn't matter what I have to do in order to get what I want. Well, in this book, it's really questioning the actions in order to get what you want, in order to get, the result. Do you really need to do all this? It's really worth. So I really like it. Also, I love the Kalarin, all his values, how he was so desperate, how he was so sad, how he was so abused, and knowing about his past, about his dad being a surgeon, his dad being able to help, and even Kalarin didn't want to be a surgeon. He was just to be, he wanted to be a soldier. We can see how he's changing, how he's being mature, and the real meaning of be a surgeon, and the real meaning to be a slave and be able to turn those slaves into something else and encourage them and inspire them. It's really an inspiring book. I have had a lot of like life lessons, and I couldn't be more happier with this book. It was a completely masterpiece. I said Brandon Sanderson has become my favorite fantasy author. Even though it's very different than Mistborn, because Mistborn is more like fast paced and more like war and more like intense. This book has a lot of emotions, and I really recommend this book. Definitely 5 stars. I thank you so much for being here. I hope I'm gonna see you the following week with a new adventure. I have another chunky book to read, but it's okay. I'm very excited, and yeah, thank you so much. Bye.